Morning, everyone. So you're going to have to excuse my croaky voice today. I've got a little bit of a cold, but that's not going to stop me bringing some crystal magic through to you all. So, I just want to check in, see how you're doing. How was your weekend? How was your week? We are now sort of entering right into the heart of the winter month, and we've got the solstice coming up on Thursday. So yeah, this is I guess for us here in the Southern Hemisphere, like our longest nights and our most inward times. So really love to just see how you're all cruising through this space. It's such a beautiful time of year, actually, here in the Northern Rivers. It's really probably one of my favourite times of year. I forget how much I love it, besides the cold and the colds that you get. But besides from all of that, it's an amazing time to really start again. We've just moved through a dark moon, and with this solstice coming, it further adds to the fact that it's the perfect time to start planting seeds, start really, tuning into what you want this next cycle to bring. And it's a time of dreaming, a time of really looking at all that's come before to this point and what you're wanting to cultivate for the next season. So in some way, it's kind of like a solstice is like a new year. So it's a really great opportunity to begin again. And, I love that about being here in the Southern Hemisphere, that we kind of have a second chance at starting again. I find the whole new year over January, summertime, it's all too much all at once. And I'm always grateful for then Chinese New Year that comes along, and then, everything that gives us new opportunities to begin. But essentially, we have a new opportunity in every day, every moment, to realign ourselves with what it is we're wanting to create. So with that in mind, I'm going to pull us 3 cards for the week ahead, and let's see what comes through. And I've got a couple of requests from people who wanted cards, and again, anyone online right now, if you want to just say good day, and I'm happy to pull you a card as well. So, okay, what have we got for the collective this week? Nice one. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So the first card we have is Black Onyx, Grounded Self-Awareness. Well, that's a really, really great one to begin with, because it's about coming back home into your body, into yourself and your grounding. I was just driving down into Byron this morning, and I was behind a truck that had the scarab beetle on the little driving hubcap. And when I see a scarab beetle, I think of hematite, which is grounding as well. And so that was definitely in my consciousness first thing this morning, was grounding in. Oh, hey, Fawzi. Hey, Xavier. Great to see you guys on board. So, if you haven't seen this before, Fawzi, I'm doing a collective reading, for a crystalline reading for everyone for this week. And the first card that came up is Grounded Self-Awareness. So I was also mentioning hematite, and I feel to speak about grounding because this is really such a important thing. And if you think about what the earth is going through right now, or this in the Southern Hemisphere, it's where all the energies that are normally out there are coming in and being anchored into the body, bringing your external resources and just pulling them in a bit closer and like anchoring into yourself. So Black Onyx is also a stone that is really fantastic for dealing with stress as well. Sometimes when we have too much on our plate and we get a bit stressed out, our energy sort of comes up in the mind and does this little dance that takes us out of our body. So the Black Onyx brings us back on in. So that's a great way to start. And our central stone for today's reading is Jade. So I was just mentioning this is the perfect time to dream, to plant seeds, and Jade is a stone of the dream walkers. This is a stone of traversing through the unconscious realm, sometimes in dream space, but it's also how we can make our unconscious conscious by actively, I don't know if any of you are into lucid dreaming or waking up within your dream. You know that movie Inception where you're in a dream within a dream within a dream. So we wake up sometimes going, wow, that dream, like I have memory of that. But then we're waking up into this world and it's like, this is another little dream bubble. And essentially we're going to keep on waking up to different levels of self. So just bringing more and more consciousness into the dream spaces, because what we do here in this reality is going to be reflected in the next and in the next and the next. Likewise, going down a few levels into the subconscious. So the animal that relates to Jade and dream work is the jaguar. So in a lot of cultures around the world where they really work with Jade, they're very aware of the jaguar being and the ability to like stalk yourself like a big cat, you know, really like in a quiet and observing way, how you can see these aspects of yourself within dream state and to really bring that awareness, that absolute awareness in this dream state. And again, it's about planting seeds in these spaces as well. So I don't know about you guys, but I've been dreaming off the tap lately. I mean, I always dream a lot, but particularly around this dark moon time. And I'd love to hear if anyone else has been having dream experiences or lucid dream spaces. So that's the central card for this week. And interestingly enough, we're ending up on what we started on last week. We started with Apatite and now it's popped up again. So the need for foresight, the need for having that perspective and foresight from where we are to where we want to go is interesting that that's come in again. And mentioning again, it is a communication stone and drawing on everything from our natural world around us to gather the information we need in order to move forward. So essentially this whole reading is about grounding into yourself and traversing those spaces that are maybe kept in the dark a little, in the unconscious spaces, and looking at them, stalking yourself. Hey Catherine, good to see you. And really looking at the inner mechanisms of yourself so you can make a change if you need to and plant the seeds you need to. Don't worry, honey, I'm late too. It's all good. There's no such thing as late. We're all here in perfect time. So from these dream spaces, then gathering the foresight again. So Catherine, you just joined. So we've got the same card popping up, the same as last week, but this is the ending this time. So if I'm going to sing these stones to you and how they integrate together, it will go something like this. When I ground into my body and sink into the hidden nature of myself, I'm able to plant the seeds with foresight to be able to create desired outcomes. So that sounds pretty groovy to like be able to navigate through these solstice times that we're coming up to on Thursday. So Fawzi, would you like if you're still online, would you like a card? I'm happy to pull a card for you, Catherine. So while I hear from you guys, I'm actually just going to pull one from my sister Jo, who I missed out last week because we had quite a busy week doing lots of little individual readings for people. So Jo, honey, this one's for you. Zircon. Okay, so Zircon is the stone of life changes. Big changes are afoot. Yes, indeed. So Zircon is actually one of the most common minerals because it is sand, essentially. So all our beaches are covered in Zircon. And that's why so many of us, when we're wanting to make big changes in our life, we go to beach locations. You know, when you just need a holiday and you're just like, God, take me to Bali or Hawaii or, you know, somewhere in the Bahamas, anywhere where there's a beach. And it's interesting because that desire actually comes from the needing to be laying on the warm sands of zircon, the warm sands of change, the shifting sands of change. So change is a scary thing, but it's one of those things that is inevitable. So you've got to get used to it, basically. And Jo, I've already seen so much awakening and opening for you. Jo has just has been doing amazing ecstatic dancing in Yukai. If anyone's in the area, Yukai on Wednesday mornings, she leads a beautiful dance class. So she's really stepping in and out there. And with stepping out into the world comes big change, because you're being matched by the field. Once you step out, all of that comes back to you. And it can be scary, but it's incredibly liberating and fun as well. So yeah, it's awesome, Jo. Blessings on that change for you. And Falsey, I've got one for you. Oh gosh, it's been a long time. Wow. Jumping card. Here we go. Oh, beautiful. Gold. So interesting that gold came up. So gold is one of the stones, one of the key stones of the Maya. So Falsey and I were in Peru together. So it does not surprise me one iota that gold has popped up for you, Falsey. And it is not only the stone of, you know, golden abundance, but like as far as like material abundance goes, but also it is a currency of love. I mean, the golden ray that comes actually from source is one of pure love. And that's why in alchemical terms, we want to turn lead into gold, because gold not only is one of our most valuable substances, but it's one of the purest as well and most malleable. So how can you go through or like recognize this process that you're in personally to alchemize these denser aspects of yourself with all the pressure of the heat and all the other elements that are involved to bring the gold out in your life, bring out the purest aspect of your heart's expression. So that is gold. And gold is also another one that works beautifully with our beginning crystal, black onyx, because they both turn up a lot when we can have too much stress in our body and our nervous systems. So when there's been a lot of stress, it can blow circuits in the system. And gold is something that rewires all our circuitry, all of our meridians. So it's a really lovely visualization to imagine in the mornings when you want to realign yourself, that you're allowing this golden, like almost like rain, to come through your body and go through all of the meridians, and feeling like all the little super highways of your being are just being lined with gold, just so you can be the purest vessel to receive all the light codes that are coming through continuously throughout your day. So that's for you, Falsey. And Catherine, of course, I've got one for you. How's Elke this week? Oh, jump. Okay, Botswana agate. Beautiful. This is all about breath. Breath is something that it is such a powerful transformer, and something we so easily overlook because it's something we do every day and something we don't always do so well. So the power of breath is phenomenal. And as I think I've mentioned before, I've been stepping into doing more Qigong practices and breath work, which really oxygenates the body, not only just opening the lungs, which is like the central part of your torso. So like opening your lungs actually opens your heart as well. So the more breath we can bring in, we're actually shifting any stagnancies that are trapped within the body, specifically the lungs. So the lungs hold a lot of sadness and grief often if there's not enough fluid breath moving through these areas. So through conscious breath and through deep breath, especially when you can breathe around a tree or around a place that's, not in the middle of the polluted street, I guess, but you get this fresh air in. It's really amazing to be able to imagine like the feeling that you get when the air comes in. How does that shift, or how do you feel the emotions in your body, and how do you feel it shift? So using these breaths as a meditation and a practice. So yeah, that's something that's going to really assist you, Catherine. And of course, being a mama, you're probably not getting out doing as much exercise as you would normally, but even doing like a walk, just like getting that, a walk to the park, getting that air in, getting that movement, is really important to keep your energy flowing. So oxygen is life. Bring it on. Yay, that sounds awesome. Oh, so good. Okay, so is there any questions that you may have, Catherine at all, or Fawzi? Looks like it's just you two on today, so I don't have any other requests at this time, so it might be a quick one for today, but really looking forward to next week as well. And I'm loving the fact that we're all going to be journeying together with these stones for the solstice, grounding ourselves, spending lots of time dreaming, and really giving ourselves a time to dream into what we're wanting to create through the foresight of Apatite. So lots of love. Mwah! See you next time.